Good day, everyone, and welcome to our channel and to our show, Sickle Cell Warriors Health and Color, where we talk about everything to do with sickle cell and the Black health condition. My name is Jaydon Akinyosade, as usual, and my beautiful co-host is...
My name is Hannah Eza.
Thank you so much for continuing to ride with us, for continuing to subscribe, for continuing to comment, for continuing to like. And if you haven't, please turn your notifications on, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Health and Color Pod. Yeah, our Instagram and our TikTok or X, or what else do we say? TikTok, Instagram, and
YouTube
is Sickle Cell Warriors SSW Health and Color. SSW Health and Color. If you have any questions or comments, you can also send us an email on healthandcolorpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all so much once again. We are here for another episode of this show where we delve into the myths and facts of sickle cell disease. We did a part 1. If you haven't already watched it, the link will be put up top in our YouTube channel. All right, so follow the link, please. Thank you very much, and continue to like, comment, subscribe, and once again, turn your notification button on. So whenever we drop our thing on, you can see it. All right. So we're going to start with Hannah today.
Yes, today we're going to dive into the myths. So myth number 1 is, this actually sounds very offensive. Sickle cell people are lazy. Sickle cell.
This is where my bad side will come out again. I don't want to show that bit. I really don't want to show that bit of my side again. I'm trying to be more calm and demure. But when you say things like that, that's what offends me. That's what really offends me, But it's okay. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. But no, we ain't lazy. We ain't lazy. Don't say that.
No, we're lazy.
No.
That's just what Jaydon was trying to explain to me today, because he slept. So this is very funny. Jaydon said he was sleeping.
Hold on. Why would you say that? I told you that story in like a personal something that I'm dealing with. Why would you not put it out there?
We're talking about personal stuff here, so people need to relate to understand what we mean.
Do you know what? I'm going to say this story myself, because I know Anna will butcher the story and probably make me look bad.
And add all this.
However, what she's trying to say is, a few days ago, I really, really wanted to attend my son's first parent-teacher evening. He just started secondary school in year 7 in the UK. And as such, I'm really proud of him, and he's been doing a lot. But I wanted to attend his first parent-teacher evening. Unfortunately, a few days before that, I had woken up with some really bad chest pain, and I've been trying to manage at home, but it was not going the right way. So I had to go to the hospital on Thursday morning. And when I got there, all my days, I was dosed up with all sorts of painkillers.
Yeah, just to keep up,
so that I can get to my son's parent-teacher evening. Imagine getting to the place in the evening with all the parents seated in the hall, and what did I do? I started dozing off. Yes. I started dozing off. Like, my wife had to tap me that, look here, if you're not going to be present, go to the car. And to be honest, that's what happened in the end. I went to the car and slept off.
And so, imagine someone seeing you sleeping in the car, like, this lazy man.
They will not know the backstory.
Why is he even here in the first place? But then you really wanted to be there for your son, didn't you? Oh, bless you. So the fact is, sickle cell warriors often deal with chronic pain, fatigue, and organ damage, which makes them feel some certain way.
That's right.
And what appears as laziness is often a result of their body fighting through extreme discomfort and fatigue. Many are incredibly resilient and active when their health allows them, which is almost all the time. But then sometimes when sickle cell people are in pain, they still want to do stuff. They don't want it to hold them back. But then when you take a break to just say, do you know what? Let me listen to my body. It's not laziness.
No.
It's just you listening to your body, so your body doesn't shut itself down before you help yourself to rest. Yeah, so it's not laziness.
Listen to Hannah. Thanks for the explanation.
Now they must listen to me.
Yes, that's the real fact. That myth is totally rubbish.
It is
anyway,
wrong,
yeah. Myth number 2. Sickle cell patients always look sick. which is why they are called sicklers. Oh no.
Oh my God. I don't know how that sounds. Calling someone sickler. Just listen to that. How can you even?
Look, once again, I really wanted to be very
Demure,
like very chilled in this. But you guys are making me come out again. That word sickler, I totally dislike. From birth, that's all we've heard about our story. You're a sickler, you're a sickler, you're a sickler. And at some point, sometimes it even begins to manifest that way because you're in and out of hospital. Please, for all health professionals out there, parents, carers, friends, family, don't call sickle cell patients sicklers. You know, it's not a good thing.
No,
that word can appear very, very offensive and can begin to come out. Yeah, can begin to affect that person's mindset, that person's body, the way they react to things. You know, because they've been labeled that all their life.
All their life.
Yes.
So they become sicklers.
That's
actually.
right. That's right. So the real fact is, many people with sickle cell disease look healthy, especially when not in crisis. Sickle cell disease is often an invisible illness, and symptoms can flare up unpredictably and unawares. You can wake up in the morning and you just have a crisis. You can be very well, plan your day, sleep at night, wake up at 2 a.m. in pain. You know, it's just, it appears in any and every time. It catches you out in the ways that you sometimes don't even understand. Not all people with sickle cell disease look ill. Hey, look at me.
Look at me now. I mean, look at that.
So fly. Many live seemingly normal lives. Yes, we do. Especially when they're not in crisis. The term sickler, like I've already said, is considered offensive and dehumanizing. It's just like calling a black man, you know, that word we don't like. Yes, that word. We don't say that out here. Please bleep that. Thank you. Sickle cell warrior or person with sickle cell disease is often preferred. That's why we call ourselves warriors. We fight it every day. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Myth number 3. So if you have sickle cell trait, you will eventually develop sickle cell disease.
Is that right, Hannah?
I mean, it's not like if you have HIV and you eventually have AIDS if you don't treat it. It doesn't work that way, does it?
In fact, a lot of people live with HIV a very long life now. They don't have to have AIDS.
I mean, that's what people think that's what it is.
I know.
So, but it's not. You can AS. Go back to our episode where we spoke about different traits. You've got AA, AS, SS, SC.
That's right.
They have thalassemia.
That's right.
Even SS and beta thalassemia and all of that.
That's right. So it's so different.
Yeah, so different. So the fact is having the traits, one sickle cell gene is not the same as having the disease. 2 sickle cell genes. Most people with sickle cell trait live normal life and never develop disease.
That's right.
Yeah.
But honestly, on the other hand too, with a sickle cell trait, you can also be often considered to be anemic.
Yeah.
You can also be considered anemic. So if you're a sickle cell carrier out there, or you have a sickle cell trait, and you're feeling weak in some ways or tired in some ways, it'll be important to go to your GP or your doctor to have yourself checked out. Because yes, you don't have the sickle cell disease, but you can also become anemic, where you might need blood transfusions or, you know, just a top up to help you go on with your normal day lives. Okay. But sickle cell traits doesn't mean you have the sickle cell disease.
Or we'll develop it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Or we'll develop it. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Okay.
So myth number 4?
Yeah, myth number 4. Sickle cell disease is curable with painkillers.
Gosh. Oh God.
I wish.
If only.
I wish.
If only. Give me the painkillers. Just give birth to someone with sickle cell and give them lots of painkillers. They'll be all right anyway. So
painkillers manage symptoms, but they are not a cure. No way. They're not a cure. You're living with that condition for a lot of your life. Currently, the only potential cures are bone marrow, or stem cell transplants, which are not available or suitable for all patients.
And gene therapy. No?
That's right.
Yeah,
And gene therapy now
I mean,
too.
if sickle cell, if you get cured by sickle cell with painkillers, Jaydon would have been cured
That's right.
on Thursday. Was it Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. When I was
Cured
dosed
on
up.
Thursday.
When I was dosed up and had to go to the parent-teacher evening. That's right. I would have been very well cured, but hey.
All right.
All right.
Moving on to the myth number 5 for part 2.
That's right.
Yeah. So all sickle cell patients experience pain the same way.
I wish.
I mean, we all have different pain threshold.
That's what she meant.
I knew you loved that, didn't you? So we all have different thresholds. I mean, what is very painful for you could be like, for me.
That's right. And like we've been saying, prior to having sickle cell anyway, all human beings differ in the ways that they treat pain, or the ways that pain affects them.
Yeah.
Everyone's threshold to pain is totally different, and that's also in sickle cell patients.
Okay, so should I tell them the facts? Yeah. So pain levels and frequencies varies widely between individuals. Some may have frequent crises, others might go months or years without one. Wow, months and years. Touch wood. Touch wood, you go like 10 years without experiencing it.
That's right.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's true. It is true. From people that we've met, everyone varies very differently. Some people hardly in hospital. Some people get treated and they're okay for months. Some people, it happens on a daily, weekly basis. So everyone is totally different. Yeah. So
some people can treat theirs, can
manage. Yeah.
Go back to all our episodes to just watch. We did mention that sometimes you can be in your house and manage your crisis. That doesn't mean that you're not in pain. That doesn't mean you don't have crisis. It's just that your pain threshold is actually higher than the other. So what can take you to the hospital might not take me to the hospital. I can just manage it at home.
Yep.
That's why it's always advisable for people with sickle cell to have the pain killers that actually touches their pain at home.
That's right.
Just to reduce the amount of work or load that is being dumped on NHS.
Yeah, or the frequency of hospital admission.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah,
right.
That explains it. Yeah.
Amazing myth number 6. Sickle cell disease doesn't affect your mental health.
I mean, this is even hearing it sounds silly.
Yeah, it does.
It does sound silly. How can you be experiencing pain, not just pain, other stuff that affect people with sickle cell, and you say it doesn't affect their mental health?
Come on. If anyone has sickle cell, you know what a crisis means. It just means unbearable amount of pain. It's actually terrible. So these things leave a lasting effect on your mind and your body. So of course your body and your mind are gonna have traumas that you need to deal with in relation to pain. So the real fact is chronic illness, such as sickle cell disease, often impacts the mental health. Many sickle cell disease warriors experience depression, anxiety, PTSD, insomnia. Insomnia is one of them. So, and this is because and also post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And this is due to lifelong pain, and frequent hospitalization. I was once told that our body as a sickle cell patient actually is more alert to trying to
survive.
Yeah, is in survival mode.
Always in survival
mode because you're waiting for the next crisis to happen because you know how bad your previous crisis was. So any little pain, you want to get on top of it very quickly.
You have anxiety.
Exactly. So that is anxiety in the first place. You know what I mean? You cannot just relax and chill and manage yourself. You're always experiencing something, or you're always expecting something to happen to your body. So
just imagine. Let's put this into perspective. Yeah, just imagine you have a big day coming up, and that anything can happen. Yeah. Just imagine what that is going to be doing to your mind. Yeah. You're constantly in worry. You're thinking, oh, am I going to fall sick? Maybe a woman or a man, you have your wedding coming up, and every little pain you feel It could just be a tingly. And your mind will start.
That's right.
And it can change your mood.
Yeah.
It can change the way you're behaving. It can change everything. And imagine you're also having to deal with other real life issues plus that. So,
and this is why it's very important for anyone with a health condition or lifelong condition to seek help from psychotherapists or psychologists or people of that nature, because they are there to help and support you in dealing with your lifelong health condition. All right. So you can speak to somebody that actually understands what it means to have trauma, what it means to have a chronic illness, what it means to have depression, anxiety, and all the other stuff in relation to mental health. So please don't go through this alone.
Yeah. Even on Thursday, he wanted to be out of hospital. He was scared that he'll be admitted, because he wanted to be there for his son. Even if he wasn't there the whole time, he wanted his son to see his face, to know, I was there for you. I will not miss the important stuff when it comes to you. No, that actually, he dragged himself out of the hospital or took as much painkiller as he could so he doesn't stay in the hospital. And imagine what that does to him. Just imagine that they eventually told you, no, you have to stay in.
Yeah, I know. That would have not been nice. Yeah.
It's just an example of what it looks like being a warrior.
And also, it's good for your professional health, how do you call them, doctors, nurses, to understand the kind of condition that you have, and how to best help you out, because just because you're presented to a hospital with crisis doesn't they always have to admit you.
Yeah.
They also understand that you also have a life outside of hospital. You have a family, you have a job, you have things that you want to get done. So they help you to achieve those things as best as possible. All right?
Just be honest with them. So they understand why you're being, because sometimes they can call you stubborn.
Yeah.
Just be honest. So they understand where you're coming from.
That's right.
That's good. So, myth number 7.
Lucky number 7. That's right. Let's go. Of part 2 of our myths and facts.
Yeah, part 2 of our myths and facts. Number 7 of it. So, sickle cell disease is no longer a sickle cell disease is no longer a serious health issue.
That is a big.
What does that mean?
Oh no! I think because also in this UK, we are always dealing with laws that says that doesn't class sickle cell as high as
disability.
Yeah, as a disability. So that is an issue within itself. Come on, I don't know why do people think like this? Like, of course, it's a serious health issue because it affects everything that concerns you. Aside from just your body, it affects your organs and it affects your surroundings. It's not just a disease that affects just you, it affects those around you too.
And it's a shame that they don't put it on disability. They didn't class this as a disability, because if something like diabetes is classified as disability, I mean, and they pay for their medication.
Let's even understand this, because a lot of medication that cancer patients use, sickle cell patients actually use them.
Yeah.
There's no other health condition. There's no other health condition that kind of uses a lot of the meds and painkillers that cancer uses. But sickle cell is one of them. So how do you say it's not a serious health condition?
It's under hematology, for crying out loud. It's under hematology.
Yep.
Although they don't get a lot of, and this is why they don't take it serious, because there's not enough awareness.
No.
There's not enough awareness.
And this is why funding too is affected for sickle cell projects and for sickle cell disease.
Yeah.
Because we're not classed as high a priority, which is definitely wrong. We need to change that narrative. This is why we do this. Okay? Yeah. This is why we do this.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the real fact, Hannah?
So the fact is, sickle cell disease remains a life-threatening. That life-threatening should be in capital letter.
That's right.
Life-threatening disease that requires an ongoing medical attention. Lack of awareness and access to care continues to affect the outcome. I mean, this is what you say. This is why we're doing this. Lack of awareness is actually what is making people to not know how serious this is.
That's right. So please, the BAME community, we need to continue to loud it out there. Make noise about it out there. please sign on to trials, clinical trials, sign on to research, let the government know that this thing should be classed in the way that it should be classed as a disability, because it affects your life in ways even you might never understand.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Can you imagine that people with sickle cell disease do pay for their medication?
That's terrible.
And they have to take medication every day.
And not a lot of them can even work. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Not a lot of them work. So yeah.
All right. Myth number 8. Sickle cell crisis only happens in cold weather. I couldn't even finish that without laughing. It's terrible, man. Like, who wrote this myth? Anna did.
I mean, these are the questions.
I'm only joking. These are the questions. These are things that people actually.
What people really. This is real life.
Of course,
this is what people are actually thinking. Oh, it's cold weather. You have to. Oh, are you covering up? Are you drinking hot water?
That's nonsense, because sickle cell can affect you in any weather. Why do you think people in sub-Saharan Africa still have crises? Or India, for instance, where it's always hot and humid. You know, this is just totally wrong. Sickle cell disease affects you in any weather. Let me just say that out loud. Yeah,
it's not just weather that triggers crisis.
No, it's not.
We've already mentioned so many things trigger crisis.
Yeah,
mental well-being.
That's right.
Stress.
That's right. Stress is a big one.
Stress. Stress. You might think, oh, I'm stressed. I'm just gonna chill or take a coffee or take my espresso and relax. I'll be fine. With sickle cell people, it triggers crisis. It lands them in hospital.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's not just weather.
And also dehydration. When you're not properly drinking enough fluids, or there's not enough fluids in your system to allow the blood to flow freely, that's what can also cause crisis. So there's many factors.
So many things.
So many factors that affects that. So crises, this is the real fact right now. Crises can be triggered by any factors, as we already mentioned, including stress, dehydration, infections, for instance. That's another one. Overexertion. Yeah, you're doing too much. You are doing too much as a sickle cell patient. You need to know your limits. You need to know when to start, when to stop. You need to learn to read your body, listen to your body and your mind too. And even the hot weather, because you can be dehydrated in hot weather.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, those are the facts.
Yeah, not just hot weather. I mean, sometimes we forget, because the weather is so cold, we forget to drink.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not just the hot weather.
So dehydration can affect you in any way, whether you're hot, whether you're cold, doesn't matter. Okay. So
myth number 9. Sickle cell disease affects men and women differently.